Hello everyone, Treecks here, and welcome back to Wario Land 3. Once again we're starting at nighttime, that's happening quite a lot actually. We are going to return to the northern quadrant here in the beginning of part 6. It's already part 6, man. But still, we are far from done. Last time we unlocked 2 stages at the same time. Both of them here in the northern quadrant, that's the whole reason why we're here. We've unlocked N4 and N5. Already kind of giving away that all of the quadrants have at least 5 stages, because you might already guess all of the quadrants actually have the same number of stages. Or do they? More about that later. But N4, the bank of the Wild River, and N5, the Tidal Coast, those are up to play to start with, at least. Both of them will be taken care of right away. This is another stage where finding the great chest is actually really easy. Once again, at the beginning of the stage. And in all honesty, even finding the grey key is not per se that difficult. Sometimes it's actually the other way around. Is the key really easy to find, like in the big bridge, for instance. Southern Quadrant stage number 2. There we actually started right next to the grey key, and not the chest. Starting next to the great chest is also something we've seen quite a lot already. And also not the final time, by the way, because I can remember another stage we haven't seen yet, where it's also going to happen. Right, let's go talk about this stage. This one can be a bit complicated at the beginning. There's a lot of these quote-unquote islands, connected by bridges, as you can see. They all look the same, but they are also all different, because all of them actually have something hidden in them. Something we'll be taking a look at later. Not per se for the grey key yet. Most of all for the musical coins, by the way, but all of these islands can be somewhat confusing. I'm actually going to take my time and crack all of these blocks, because I need as much coins as I can. I saw that I don't even have 300 yet. In all honesty, that's not really a whole lot of coins, so... Also, trying to work on that. But anyway, once we have found the key, we will find out the only way back, because of the high jumps we cannot make, is through the current. But even for that we need to be careful. Because, yeah, these spark enemies are in the water. And if you touch them, you will become Puffy Wario. And you're forced back up again. Needing to retry the whole thing. Let's try this again. It's in all honesty not that difficult to avoid them. The first one is going to be at the bottom. The second one is going to be in the middle, easily avoided by staying at the bottom. And then the third one is once again going to be at the bottom. And that way, we get back to the beginning. Take note on the water tank that's actually placed here. And that is something for much later. Great chest. And the item is going to be the trident. Sorry, Neptune. We've got your weapon now. However, this is something we cannot use without some help. It is a powerful weapon, but we are not able to use it without being told how to use it. What do you say we actually start picking that up immediately? That is something we can find in the Tidal Coast. Here we have some hammer enemies that will actually turn you into Spring Wario. We are not interested right now. The fire here will turn you into Fire Wario, also obvious. Currently also not interested in that. This door we are also not interested in, but might as well go in it quickly to see why we're not interested. There's a couple of solid blocks here. And as of right now, we can only actually hit those with our heads. Not with our arms, and not with our butt. Here's some enemy blocks. Also something we cannot work with. Still not able to pick up enemies or items. Right, but this is where we want to be. Grey key at the other side of this wall. Here we want to be turned into Spring Wario. Also take note on the fire blocks that are actually at the bottom right of this room. It's kind of giving away that we're not interested in Fire Wario a minute ago, but we are going to be right now. Because guess where the great chest is going to be? Yeah, indeed, it's going to be down here. This is going to be somewhat tricky to actually do. However, I remember it not being too difficult. All you have to do is actually jump to that section. because of the walls that actually surround you there, you will automatically turn into Flame Wario at that section. But first we need to make sure we actually get there. Perhaps not the smartest idea to start going to the left. Of course, that's not going to work out. Caught me off guard for a bit. Let's try this again. Oh, missed the jump. Alright, here we are. See, like I said, somewhat tricky, but not per se too difficult. Precisely the right kind of description. And speaking of description, that is in fact what we're going to find here. A manual how to use the trident. Because this is not going to be the blue book, this is going to be the yellow book. Another spell book, you might say. This will actually tell us how to use the trident that we found in the previous stage. And this is going to unlock a stage in the southern quadrant, I think. Spellbook. Trident. And... bam! What used to be a river is now a canyon. The steep canyon, S4. Sounds interesting enough to actually check out immediately, don't you say? We also still have the big bridge on our notes, I see, but yeah, that one is not per se that important right now. We can still continue with the other stages, so allow me to actually still make our way towards the southern quadrant, but not for S2. We are going to go to S4. The steep canyon. A stage that can be somewhat tricky at the beginning. Later on we're going to find an upgrade that's going to make the stage a whole lot easier. Most of all because of this current. We are able to swim, but we're not able to actually beat currents yet. And therefore, we're going to have to take the long way around. Right, if you're done burning, Wario, let's get upwards. Oh, that's the best shoe. Schmack, schmack, schmack. Also want that coin, of course. Bam, bam, bam. No, come on. I'm pretty sure I pressed the bash button in time, game. Well, luckily Wario isn't going anywhere because of these walls. Something I cannot resist doing. And apparently turning into flames in this stage is also something I cannot resist doing, so let's be a bit more careful. Right, here we find these hands again. Let's actually return from the desert ruins. Also a stage we still need to do. Oh. Be careful not to get pulled into the water here, because we're going to get dragged back to the beginning because of the current. Also make sure to not jump in it ourselves. Tricky jump. I see you over there. Just be patient. And here is the key. We also find a wall we're not able to actually go through. Also something for much later. One of the other treasure chests is obviously going to be behind there. However, we are interested in the grey one. That one we can find at the top left of the screen. So start rolling, jump over all the obstacles. Get to the top left. So, I think we are done here. Let's go see what we can find. That looks like something that's going to spell power up. Here we find ourselves a glove, a mighty glove you might say. Or Titan's Mitt if we start talking in Zelda terms. But of course this glove is going to make us able to pick up enemies and items, finally. We've been seeing plenty of enemy blocks already. Now we're able to break them. Throwing we can do in multiple ways. Just throw in front of you, upwards. Throw to break a block. Or actually hold the B button for powerful throw. Shouldn't be something new. All from Wario Land 2. That will unlock something new in the Tidal Coast. It will also unlock something new in the Frigid Sea. Ooh, and the big bridge. It's a stage we already needed to go to. Now we have two reasons to go in here. Well, we are still in the southern quadrant, aren't we? That still does not mean that I have a reason to go into the big bridge again. let's go backwards first. There's a couple of other things I'd like to pick up first, because of them being more important. We started the episode in this little area, the N4 and N5 area. Apparently there's already a second thing we can grab here. We did already see the enemy blocks in this stage, so we know where to go. Small little enemies like these guys we can actually pick up now. Make sure to actually stun them first. Then our old move of picking up enemies has returned. Yeah, they are. Just throw through there and let's get down here. We find ourselves the red key. But now, first a way to get there. Swimming downwards. That's asking for Bubble Wario. Oh, oops. Let's try that again. Always be patient at situations like these. Rushing things will only result in you actually taking longer about this. First let the bubble go, and then you go. And of course quick enough, because otherwise the next bubble is going to spawn. Or simply wait the moment there's no other bubbles underneath it. And we want to go over here. Of course first we want to get rid of the blocks. It looks like that's going to be enough. Now we actually need Bubble Wario. So far the only thing we've been doing is avoiding it. But now we actually need it. Because the one plus side of Bubble Wario is it is able to actually go through currents. No matter what. And that will result in the red key. The red chest is actually also in this direction, so we're going to continue downwards. Only this time even further. There's no need to return to the main room in this situation. We simply continue. Last time we took a detour over here, now we're going even further down. Still some more bubbles that actually spawn here. Obviously, this time around we want to avoid all of them. Make our way to the bottom right, where a door actually awaits us. Here we find more enemy blocks. And only one enemy, so make sure not to kill this guy. We actually need him for the entire room. Otherwise we're going to have to reset. Also not per se a bad idea to actually destroy all of the blocks, because they might actually drop a coin for you. Sometimes even more. Hold, throw, and we're done. I'm not going to share my treasure with you, go away. Red treasure for the new stage. Already halfway done. Ah, a foot. But it is green, so I'm not sure if it's going to be a human foot or something. Although, according to the treasure list, it's officially a stone foot, so... In that case, we can actually forgive the color. Although it does not look green here. Pound! And the pound will actually be related to the volcano's base. It will crumble something over there. Also something in the steep canyon, apparently. Ooh, and even that is not the only thing. The water will drain in the stagnant swamp. Wow, another 3 things opening up for us. How amazing. Almost too much to actually keep track of now, isn't it? Well, my destination of choice, to actually start with that long list of things to do. The volcano's base. It seems something has crumbled over here. A door has opened up for us. And it's going to be right over here. Go away. As you can see, this area. And that is actually new. This used to be a solid wall. But now there's a doorway over here. And the doorway leads to the blue chest. The final chest of this stage. So, let's go find the key. That's actually in this area down here. Pretty easily found, the key. However, there's no way back. And therefore, that's pretty much the challenge here. Actually going around in order to find a way back. The key itself is right over there, as you can see. Comparable to the previous key that we got. Actually, we need to do the exact same thing. crumble some blocks, then enter a bubble. And grab ourselves the key. Now, like I said, there's no way back, so I actually need to go around. And that we also do the same way in N5's red key section. By going down even further and entering a door. And it seems, for the first time in this game, we're going to make use of Vampire Wario. And also Bat Wario at the same time. Because Vampire Wario is officially the standard form. And actually flying is Bat Wario. But before we change up, we first need to take care of the crumble blocks here. Because as Vampire or Bat, we are not able to do so. So make sure those are out of the way first. Next, we want to transform. Transform again. Next, you start flying. Avoid all of the water drops, of course. Those are actually the obstacles trying to prevent you from going to the top. And also don't fall into the water. And therefore, sections like these can be a bit tricky. Okay, seems we are here. Ah, here we end up. And that's also the reason why this pipe is a one-way trip. Might have noticed that pipe already, but if you actually try to go in there from this side, you always get a nope, not allowed. And that is the reason for that. So, with that we actually finish off the first stage of this game. The first blue chest that we find. And that honor goes to the Volcano's base. Where we actually pick up the first tusk. And yes, you heard me correctly, the first tusk. It's also going to be multiple of these. But the first one, at least in my route, we find in the Volcano's base. That leaves room for one more stage in this episode, I believe. Looking at my time. Let's go over my list and see which ones we can actually do. Plenty of things to do in the big bridge. But whoever said I actually feel like doing the big bridge? We're going to the steep canyon. Here we also find ourselves a hole that we actually opened up. In the middle of the stage we can actually find something new now. Unfortunately we still don't have an upgrade that actually makes it easier to get to that place. It is going to be the last time we actually go in here with not having that power up. Next time we will actually have it. At least I'm pretty sure. Let's go over this section quickly. Nothing new to see here. Perhaps it is the... Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoever told you you were allowed to do that, sir? But like I was trying to say, this is perhaps only new because of being daytime now. Last time we actually went into the stage, it was nighttime, I remember, so... The color scheme is a bit different now. Still giving you new content. In this stage there's actually no difference in day and night, so... In this stage we don't have to care at all. But we do care about the change in the stage. It's actually this over here. If you remember correctly from last time. That was not there. It is now. And that's indeed where we're going. Whoa! Jumped a bit too far. Oh. Your fault. Let's go see what the red key section actually has for us. More of these stinger enemies. In the beginning we are not interested. We want to actually stay below. And only here we want to get stung. One is enough, guys. Red key. Right, the pipe is something we cannot go into. It's actually an exit pipe for later. Whoa, go away. Do this carefully because we want to actually go to the right. If I'm allowed to. We need to actually get stung as far to the right as possible. And yeah, this also works. Thank you. Go away. We still need one of you guys, but much rather have you. Because once again we need to stay as far to the right as possible. And land in this ledge. This final one is going to be by far the trickiest. Because now we have some spikes that actually try to hinder us. And remember, if we hit those, We actually get turned into regular Wario again immediately. Come on. Not too sure what this... Oh, now it works. Not too sure why that guy was a bit broken, but... There we go. Not too sure if that was actually the intended way. I'm pretty sure I remember that guy actually being a lot easier to trigger. Our final item for the day. The second tusk. What a surprise. And you were wondering why I wanted to go here instead of the big bridge. 2 tusks right after each other. Belonging together, of course. And as you can see, that was also not the final one. 2 of them was not enough. Perhaps we can actually find ourselves the 3rd one next time. Also tried not to make my joke of trying to avoid the big bridge for so long go on for too long. But on the other hand, eventually I'm going to have to do all of them 4 times anyway. So eventually all of the stages will pass by. But you know me by now. The moment I actually find myself a running gag, like deliberately postponing a stage, then I also like to try to keep that up for as long as I can. Even though I can remember in Donkey Kong 64, something similar actually did not really work out too well, so... Well, anyway, enough laughs. Time for serious business. Closing off. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you in the next episode. Treecks out.